Cool. Is Esau going to be a part of it? Is that what's going on?
No, that was my cat. George!
That's not my cat, that's my wife.
Honeys,
we're home.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sinclairity, a Dinosaurs Tale. This is your host, Ben Handupme, and with my co-host here.
We're gonna need another Timmy.
That's how you do a fucking intro. So this is the bonus episode. That's why it's all backwards and confusing, because we're creative, and that's what creativity is we flip the script on y'all.
Yep.
But today I've harassed Tim into letting me read some excerpts from a forum called Spacebattles, because I found a post where Earl has to fight some dinosaurs from other films or other canon of some kind.
Actual dinosaurs.
Are they?
I mean,
are they more of a dinosaur than he is?
Within the individual universes, yes.
Okay, they're all three of them are GMO dinosaurs, as you like to call them.
Yeah. Well, not Earl. He's just a regular dinosaur who wears flannel.
Do you think people are ever like no GMO in the same way that they say no homo?
I mean,
no GMO.
In relation to what?
Like they're just like, I want to get some Brussels sprouts, no GMO. Sometimes I like it when my food is produced in a way that prevents me from getting sick and includes more minerals and vitamins. No GMO. But they do want GMOs.
It's like when people say chipotle instead of Chipotle.
I knew somebody who unironically called it Chip-Ole.
Chipotle.
Like they were excited at the end of it. Chip-Ole.
Which is not the outcome after you eat Chipotle.
I mean, I've seen South Park. I know this little bit. I don't know if they have Chipotles here. I haven't checked down in the New Orleans.
They have to. That shit's everywhere.
They have to. It's ubiquitous.
Yeah. It's like a fucking... It's the burrito Starbucks.
Starburst.
I almost said Starbucks.
This is my great parody of Starbucks that I'm working on. Starbucks.
Hello,
welcome to Starbucks. You want a latte? You want a cappuccino? You want the frappuccino?
I don't even know what that accent
is. It's like Wisconsin inside of a bottle. Wisconsin.
A beer cheese.
It's like a fucking it's a Muppet on a bad day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, today we're gonna hear about a giant puppet versus two computer animated dinosaurs. So
this is a real like past versus future type. I don't even.
Yeah.
But
also these people take it very serious. So
yeah, and we recorded this intro separate from the actual clip, so there might be a little bit of awkwardness when we switch over. Just preparing you for that.
That's okay. You can add one of your brilliant commercials in there.
Oh yeah, check out this ad right here.
Do you find yourself wishing you had full, luxurious horns protruding from your skull? But unfortunately, you're as hornless as baby Sinclair is in this episode of Dinosaurs. Hi, I'm Spike Sterling, president of Horn Club for Males. Our product is guaranteed to make your horniest dreams come true. Remember, I'm not only the Horn Club president, but I am also a client. The self-effacing nature of such a reveal should lull you into a false sense of security, allowing you to believe that somehow a company is a dear friend of yours, and now your money is as good as mine. Try Horn Club for Males today, and check out the podcast Sinclairity, a Dinosaurs Tale, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much everywhere else.
All right, partner. You know what time it is.
I wish that I think Fred Durst should have been a character in Fast and the Furious.
You never know. He might be.
I guess I haven't looked at every single extra. Or do you mean in the future?
Yeah, like, Fast and the Furious 15 or whatever.
I think at least Vin Diesel should have been in that. What was it, the Rollin' music video that had like all the cameos? Or was it Break Stuff?
Roland only had like Ben Stiller in it.
Okay.
The
Ben Stiller was that the same time that Ben Stiller was also like the extra in the fucking Bad Boys for Life music video.
Mm-hmm.
Or cameo rather.
Yeah. But Ben Stiller was in that because that one song on Chocolate Covered Starfish, Fred is like, "This one's dedicated to you, Ben Stiller. You are my favorite motherfucker."
That's interesting.
And then if you read the liner notes for, I think it's that album or it's Significant Other, he shouts out Ben Stiller and he's like, "Good luck on that Zoolander project."
So he met one famous person. It was Ben Stiller, and
yeah. So the POD cast that I was talking about, they talk about how because it's actually really cool. Like, they do a lot of cool research, but they had this interview with Wes Borland, and they talked about the process for the album. Like, Wes like wrote all the music, and like all the music was like recorded and everything, and all they needed was for Fred to write the lyrics and do his vocals. But like, Fred got to this point where he's just like, I have writer's block, and he just like disappeared for like 6 months. So both of the hosts were just speculating. It was just like, Fred didn't have writer's block. He just wanted to go and be famous, so he just like went and hung out in Hollywood and shit. That's all he did. Because then he came back and wrote Rollin'. So
okay. So then the one with the cameo with like Dr. Dre and Eminem in it, that was probably Break Stuff.
Yeah, Break Stuff has Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Pauly Shore.
So yeah, basically everybody who uses G-Funk style in their rap beats, Pauly Shore included.
Well, there was a tour before Limp Bizkit and Eminem had beef. They did tour together for a little bit.
Was there beef just because Eminem wanted to use a line in a song that said something about sitting between Carson Daly and Fred Durst? Where did their beef come from?
The beef came from DJ Lethal.
Were they both like mad about them not knowing their own dads? I don't understand.
No. So what happened was DJ Lethal was in House of Pain, and Eminem wrote a diss song about House of Pain.
What song was that?
I don't remember what it was for, but like DJ Lethal was like offended, so Eminem just started dissing Limp Bizkit because Eminem is on Significant Other. There's a version of Significant Other out there with a song with Eminem on it, but none of those versions like exist anymore. It's like the Mandela effect.
Okay.
Like,
wait. So Everlast was in House of Pain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he dissed Everlast. That's right. He just
interesting, because the article I found is about Be Real of Cypress Hill has revealed that he once played a part in stopping an unreleased Eminem diss record from coming out. So when you first mentioned House of Pain, in my head, I saw Cypress Hill, and then I was like, no, that's something different.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Dre, one of them disses Cypress Hill pretty heavily in a song. Maybe it's, maybe it's Snoop.
Snoop Dogg does?
Somebody does. I
didn't think anyone had beef with Cypress Hill.
They're specifically like, it's Ice Cube. I believe it was in, I think it might have been in that, West Side Connection, that Ice Cube project.
Oh, with Snoop and Mac 10.
I don't think Snoop is in West Side Connection. He may have been featured in a song, though. It's definitely Mac 10.
Oh, okay. I know. Never mind.
Who else is in that?
Ice Cube, Mac 10, and someone else?
Mac 10 and WC. I don't know who WC is now, but I used to listen to that all the time.
Yeah, that's weird that Cypress Hill, because I feel like they just smoke weed.
Yeah, they like diss them through like half a song. Like it's kind of, I don't remember it when I was a kid noticing, but I remember like I was having a conversation recently with somebody and they brought up the whole Cypress Hill diss and saying something about like white guys and a Cuban or some shit. I don't remember.
Because Be Real.
Like I don't remember the exact diss situation, but yeah, I knew that it had something to do with some West Side shit.
You can't hate on Cypress Hill, man. They were on the Transplants record.
House of Pain seems like a pretty random diss to go for. Like, they don't seem like they'd be hurting anybody. They're just making some songs to dance to.
Dude, House of Pain is a really interesting group. Because, okay, so it's DJ Lethal, Everlast, and Danny Boy. And Danny Boy came up with, like, the name and the concept of the group, but he does, like, nothing in the group. Like, I thought he rapped too, but I don't think he does.
So he masterminded. I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's just there. he told everyone, okay, we're gonna dress like this and we're gonna have songs about this, but like he never really had anything to do with the music.
So Jump Around was like their main hit. I think it was in like Mrs. Doubtfire or something like that. Or
it was everywhere.
Or was Jump by Criss Cross in Mrs. Doubtfire? I can't remember.
I don't know, but Jump Around was like a Pringles commercial.
It's definitely a once you pop you can't stop type song.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
I mean, that's pretty much that, and then I know it rhymes with the word sin is like all I remember from that song off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Get up, stand up, come on, put your hands up.
Danny Boy was like a punk rock. He was like
Danny Boy. Danny Boy. Wait, that's
he was like a punk rock kid. So that's why in their songs and stuff, like there's a song on Tony Hawk 3 called I'ma Swing It, or is it 4? Anyway, in the song, like, every last verse have like a bunch of random stuff like, 'cause I search and destroy every toy in the box. No, fuck. He references Henry Rollins.
It's definitely Tony Hawk 3, because that's the one I barely played.
Okay, yeah, it was 3. He references Henry Rollins, but he also references the Groovy Ghoulies.
Interesting. Dude, oh my god! So there was this one fest where, I was walking around with Kepi. I had met Kepi, and he was with so I don't know how this started. I was with Billy and Shy, and we started talking to Kepi Ghoulie, and then he wanted to walk around with us, and we ran into Chicks Dig It. And he was telling us about their band as if, and I was just like, okay, cool. I know who Chicks Dig It is. So, we end up walking around with Chicks Dig It, and then Kepi takes a selfie of all of us and says, hanging out the 3 C's, Cincinnati, California, and Canada. And, it's my favorite picture ever, because I'm just, in this picture Kepi Ghoulie takes of just me and Shy and Billy and Chicks Dig It in front of, the venue in Gainesville. And I, of course, screenshotted it to save forever, because it was it's just one of those weird moments that only Fest can bring.
Is he out of all of those Lookout bands, is he the coolest one? I feel like he is.
As a person, he is definitely the coolest, super nice and doesn't have any kind of ego. I feel like he's completely just a detached, nice person.
Yeah, he's not a undercover Republican
no,
Ben Weasel and Joe Queer and
I feel if you
Dr.
told him,
Frank.
yeah, Dr. Frank's a very weird
libertarian.
Yeah, he's a weird that middle ground of I don't know. Obviously I liked Dr. Frank for a long time. There was obviously reasons I should have known that him and Joe Queer were a little creepy. Just even starting with Punk Rock Girls being a song. Me and Dr. Frank agree we love him more than toast, or whatever it is.
God, Joe Queer.
Yeah, Joe King.
He sucks.
He does suck. I remember one of my first shows was that I saw was the Queers with it was like 2006 or something. And Dopamines were opening for them. It was the first time I saw Dopamines, and they were talking about how they were on Fueled by Ramen, and I believed them. I didn't get that they were just making jokes the whole time they were on stage. So they had like only been a band for a few months, and they were talking about how they sold out. They were on Fueled by Ramen and like all this nonsense, and like some band that like some like with this like guy with a leather jacket and a goatee singing with like this big like affected metal voice played, and after the songs the guy was like on stage talking, and Joe Queer like shouts out like, "You don't have to put on the fake voice the whole time." That was pretty good. It was a bizarre show. There was also some band that sounded like AFI, and the singer was like overweight, and I remember Robbie being like, yeah, they're pretty good, but they're not going to go anywhere because the singer's fat. And I was like, I've been pretty upset about that for like 14 years.
That was so do you remember when Joe Queer was cool, like with everyone?
That's like pretty much what I'm talking about, is like that era. I feel
like
before he started yelling Merry Christmas at people in July. When
he like recorded that one Wild album. Mm-hmm. But Jeff Rosenstock was also there. Yeah. And Jeff Rosenstock wanted to put synthesizers on everything, and they were like, "No."
That was a whole phase that Jeff had, I feel like, musically. Synthesizers on everything.
Remember when Pegasus XL was in the Tony Hawk game?
That's so wild. That's like how was Strictly Business or whatever it was. That band was in Tony Hawk. I feel like that's the name. They were in like Tony Hawk Project 8 or something like that, and they were like a band that posted on Scott Hillies.
Isn't that Steve Wozniak's
band? Yeah, that's what it is. It's Wozniak's band, Steve Sneeve.
He does the no, he just like works with Fest, basically.
Yeah, makes the app, just puts his heart into that app. And then he was in Binary Heart, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with Mike Costa and Erica Clayton.
At least when I saw them live, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was when I think Erica Clayton was like roommates with John Dominici. The one who's going off on my LTJ thread.
The one who played drums at that fest set I was talking about and didn't know any of the songs.
It was funny, like Sean McCabe, or Macaba, I think his name's McCabe, I think he made it weird on Facebook, is commenting on my LTJ post, and brought up the wappy overproduced trombone sounds in Hello Rockview, and John Dominici commented today and was like, didn't really bother me. And then I said, we're over here having trombone talk right now. and Sean McCabe's like, thank you, Ben. We don't need a bass player telling us. I had like a wrong version of Hello Rockview for a minute downloaded where somebody had like upped the tempo and it made the voice higher pitched and everything higher pitched. And something was
why?
It wasn't. I don't know. I think somebody did it to upload it to YouTube and not get it taken down. But I didn't like. I was like, something's off about this fucking song. Like I couldn't tell what it was at first. And then I was like, oh, it's like in a different key and faster.
Apparently, Buddy wrote that horn line for Nervous in the Alley, like after he had like a pretty bad bike accident. Like he fell off his bike.
Oh, really?
And I think he was going to like go record, and he like had a bike accident, something like that.
That's interesting. I think my Post Malone might have ruined our chance of having Vinny on the podcast, though.
Did he see it?
No, I don't think he doesn't know I want to say he doesn't know I exist, but I keep forgetting that some people know I exist, and then I forget that they know I exist, and it's weird.
He probably he knows me. He knows me and V and our
friend who's our friend that what's his name that just played their shows with us.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Alex,
so nice.
Alex.
Yeah, I love Alex.
Alex Kasich. Well, Jeremy always shouts us out for some reason.
Jeremy? Oh, yeah, Jer Bear. I assume that's already probably an old... I don't think you're supposed to call people named Jer Bear anymore. It's probably overused. Like, I'm not supposed to make any Toy Story jokes when we talk to Woody.
Don't make any Toy Story. I know you... I have a feeling you're going to.
If I do, it's going to be like, Tim says I can't make Toy Story jokes no more. Didn't say I can't rap about Coke no more. I played a set with Woody's band with Madison. Paranoia. Paranormal Dance Party.
However, Paranormal Dance Party is also a cool band name.
Paranorman Dance Party. I played that show with them at that skate park. What was that place called in like Tampa area? Transitions, and we stayed the night at this guy Tyler's house that was in the band, and then we understood why Paranoia Dance Party had like the sickest equipment and gear. It's because like this guy Tyler Rosenberg maybe
sounds familiar.
lived on a golf course in like a giant house, and I remember like we slept in the billiards room of this place. And there was another band sleeping there that night too, and like we were like 20 feet away from that whole other band, still sleeping in the same room on the floor. Like our group was like, that's how big this room was in this house. And we were just a little bummed because we couldn't go outside to smoke in the middle of the night because there were alarms on the house. But in the morning, his like parents had like bought donuts for everyone, and they were kind of like rich rednecks. Like they had like the whole like Larry the Cable Guy chic of like blowing up while like still retaining those roots or whatever, but he's making that up. It was just interesting. I feel like his dad, or I don't know if his dad, could have been stepdad, had like a mullet. It was an interesting experience, but I later like saw the same guy. He ended up being in Joystick for a while, the guy Tyler. And Joystick played a show in our trumpet player's backyard until the cops shut it down. I think Joystick might have been the only band that got to play, and it was supposed to be Chilled Monkey Brains and us, and I think it got shut down right after Joystick. But like, it was a thing where they're like, well, this is like a noise violation, the neighbor, blah, blah, blah. But the entire neighborhood had showed up like at the gate and climbed over the fence to be at the show. Like, it was like everyone was excited about this random shit happening in his backyard.
That happened to... My friend had to like move a show to a house one time, and it was like a lot of like hardcore bands. Like Along Came Oni, who were like from Orlando, and American Me or something like that. I forget, but
Along Came Polly.
So they originally were like, all right, we're just gonna do it outside, and like as soon as I was like, you guys are going to do it in the backyard? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
so, like,
for sure.
So the first band plays, they do their whole set, and then the cops come. And,
yeah, every time.
And they're like, the cops come though, and like, all right, it's like, as long as y'all, it's like, I know y'all are good kids, you know, I see some of you, you know, you're some straight edgers, you know, that's cool, man. It's just like, as long as you bring it inside, and I don't have
cops.
And he's like, you don't have to come. If he's like, as long as I don't have to come back, he's like, you're all good. We're like, okay. So they moved everyone inside this kid's house, and like one of the bands decided to cover break stuff, and that was not good for this kid's house. I felt
That's
bad.
Amazing. I can't believe like people can't understand the situation enough to not. It's impossible. The song was designed to ruin houses.
And Woodstock 99.
Yes. I think about like I remember our school dances, they had no rock music, and then they played Enter Sandman at one of the dances. And like the football players were all crowd surfing, like the smallest ones. And halfway through the song they turned it off, and I'm like, that was just Enter Sandman. Like they couldn't handle.
The only one at my homecoming and like in prom, the only song they would ever play was All the Small Things. That's it.
You mentioned some band that sounded like Along Came Polly, and I had to bring up that I had a coworker who was this really weird older guy who, like, I had been, like, when he got the job, like, my brother-in-law was like, hey, this douchebag that lives on my block said he works with you now. And, like, wanted to verify because I guess he makes up shit all the time, so I had to verify this guy actually worked with me. And so this guy hated being in the office I was in because we were all kind of, like, jovial and got along with each other, and he just wanted silence while he, like, did his sales pitches over the phone and shit like that. I would listen to him. He, like, he had this week where every phone call with a client, he would bring up the movie Along Came Polly. And this is
why?
I don't know. I saw that movie in theaters in high school. This was like 10 years after that. And like
talk about Ben Stiller.
Yeah, he would just like bring this movie up as like the funniest thing he's ever seen. And he would like he would like talk about a specific scene that I don't remember what scene it was. But I thought it was just so fucking funny that this guy just had to bring up Along Came Polly so often.
Fucking Along Came Polly.
I think he showed me a video of his dick once.
Why?
I don't know. He showed me and my friend Aaron, who's another straight edge buddy of mine. He showed us, the one who sent me the Dinosaurs toys. He was showing us a video on his phone where somebody was like pouring different drinks into a shot, like a cocktail glass, and then they like whipped out their dick and stirred it with their dick. And we're just like, why is he showing us this video? Then he goes and shows like our boss the video, and then he shows our boss's boss the video, and then him and like the CEO of the company are laughing about the video together.
Why?
And then me and Aaron were like, let's see if we can find this video online, because I'm concerned that this isn't an existent video. Like, this isn't a thing he found on the internet. And we couldn't find it anywhere. And I have a story from my brother-in-law about how they went to a Reds game together, and then afterwards, the guy pulled his dick out at the bar and sat on the bar with his dick out. And they were like, you're gonna go to jail. We gotta, like, what are you doing? So he has a history of just whipping it out.
He's a sex pest.
I wonder if he just pulls his dick out and he's like, and along came Polly.
And along came Polly. Do you know that Bloodhound Gang song?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I was just thinking about it.
Bloodhound Gang is the official podcast band.
That album's so good.
We mentioned it in one episode.
Did we talk about Hooray for Boobies?
Because you brought the line about the strippers hotter. It's hotter when the stripper cries or whatever it is.
A lap dance is so much better when the stripper is crying.
Yeah, I feel like that's episode 5 maybe. That might not be out yet. Because I was listening to some stuff in advance the past week.
I will say the Gary episode was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
only, but more towards the end. Just come on, waiting on my son to come. That was the funniest fucking thing ever.
I was not ready for that read. I was like, what the fuck?
I was like laughing at work listening to it, even though I experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to them a few times and still laughed. Okay, so what I'm going to be reading to you today, I found a forum. I don't know anything about this forum. It's called Spacebattles.com.
If it's not a punk rock forum, then I don't know what it is.
I gotta see if people still... It looks like it still gets used. I see some posts from 2020. From all the way up to September, so it's still being... This forum is still, like, hot shit.
It's weird that people still use message boards. Is it weird to you? It's weird to me.
It is weird. I kind of prefer it over the way Facebook groups have been, but like...
It's the same thing, but...
It is.
You get to use an app. Like, I guess it just reflects the amount of time I spend on, like, an actual computer.
Yeah. I mean, I know that there's, like, Envision board apps now that you can, like, access forums from, if that's, like, the... Because I've seen that pop up. I went to this, like, the actual webpage, spacebattles.com, that the forum is from, and I still don't think I understand the point of the page. The forums, it seems like people propose, like, it's in, like, this debate forum, where they choose who battles who. And this one is called Indominus Rex versus Earl Sinclair versus V-Rex, which the V-Rex, do you know what that is?
No.
It's from King Kong.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't know until like right when we started this chat. I looked it up. It's like Vastatosaurus Rex, and it's like evolved form of a T-Rex from like the fact that it was on some island like forever and like could continue to evolve.
Is it the one from the
Peter Jackson?
Okay.
And I don't know, it might exist it's described in the book The World of Kong, A Natural History of Skull Island from 2005.
Okay.
And it says, like, I'm reading like the trivia, it says the V-Rexes were not designed to be an accurate representation of dinosaurs continuing to evolve in an isolated environment, but rather were instead designed to be the scariest thing King Kong could fight. It's like, okay.
Besides Jack Black.
And there's and there's the V-Rex trio are the replacements of the Tyrannosaurus from the 1933 film. And it's similar to the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. So that's why it's in this debate.
Because it's genetically modified?
Yeah, I guess so. And I originally didn't notice the V-Rex being a part of this. I was confused because when I look at the forum, you see like a picture of the Indominus Rex, and then you see a picture of Earl Sinclair holding his lunchbox with like the little eyes sticking out of the hole in it to imply that his lunch is still alive.
Yeah, we haven't seen that trope yet. We haven't seen that prop yet in the show.
So, yeah, I didn't even know it would exist in the show. I just thought it was just part of the marketing or something.
No,
but,
I mean, it would be a cool like toy or like a real lunchbox to have.
For real.
It wouldn't keep your food cold though. Like
no,
your actual
probably not. Food. And then the third image is like one of those little things that show that the image is deleted, and that's why I didn't even notice there was a third monster involved at first. But somebody says, I think we already did, this person is Green Giant, and they say, I think we already did V-Rex versus I-Rex, and the V-Rex won, I think, on account of being much larger and heavier. Plus, tanking stuff like failing dozens of meters into rock, as well as Kong smashing boulders into their face. Wait, why does Kong... Okay. See, this is the thing that's like confusing about this. So it tanks stuff like... Okay, so I'm assuming that it's talking about the fight it had against King Kong, where there were like dozens of meters... Oh, it fell dozens of meters into some rocks, so it just fell a bunch of feet down into some rocks, as well as Kong smashed boulders into its face, and it survived that. So they know that the I-Rex has some like, durability, and the second comment is somebody named Shipmaster Shane, whose forum like subtitle is Catholic Anime Master Race. This person's been banned from the forum. It says banned under their username.
Sound like a racist.
Yeah, exactly. I bet they didn't get banned for that either.
Yeah, it was calling he was the one that voted for Earl, so they banned him.
Yeah. So he says, wait, actually, how big was Earl?
We don't know.
Yeah. And then
Gary was bigger than Earl. This should have been Gary versus the V-Rex and the I-Rex.
It's true. These people clearly are not aficionados of the show Dinosaurs. Like, this is probably the only time Dinosaurs has come up on their forum. Like, the next comment is this person, 055, and their subname is, I'm not the one who decides, but yet they're debating who wins this. They respond to the first comment about the V-Rex and the I-Rex fight and says, maximum size Indominus is as big as a fully grown V-Rex, so no. Mind you, she, as a sub-adult, took an Ankylosaurus tail club to the face without any damage, not to mention countless rounds, an RPG whatever rocket launcher explosion at close range, and also was smashed against buildings and clawed by 4 velociraptors and a T-Rex. And then this person named Terminus, whose avatar is Chungus, said, this is 2015.
That's a friend.
The avatar could have changed. They said she was looking pretty fucked up by the end. And then 55 responds to that. Because she got smashed against buildings, had 3 raptors claw and bite her back and sides, as well as a T-Rex biting her neck, she was still ready to go, and it was only stopped by the Mosasaurus. I must add that she had no injuries from her fight with the InGen soldiers, meaning that she is either mildly bulletproof or they just have bad aim, although I think I'll go with the former rather than the latter. And then, what?
I was gonna say, that fucking thing, though, could, like, camouflage and, like, disappear.
I can't remember, like, was that from the first Jurassic World, like, boot up?
Yeah, it was the GMO dinosaur that they created for the new park.
Luckily, somebody brings the ship back to topic and says, responds to Shipmaster Sane and says Earl is about 6 feet tall. This person was Ryan Burns, who was also banned. Maybe they were both banned for talking about dinosaurs.
Okay, so Earl's 6 feet tall because the actor inside of the suit, like,
I mean, nobody nitpicks that so much. They get very nitpicky about the reasons that they have to believe that the V-Rex is bulletproof or, like, the I-Rex, whatever, the Indominus is bulletproof. Like, this person, Shipmaster Shane, responds to 055 saying, come on, seriously? Ugh, we don't know that the Ankylosaurus club did no damage. It could very well have caused minor or even serious fractures. That would be impossible for us to observe. The blow could have produced severe bruising or even a concussion, and we'd never actually be able to tell unless someone did an autopsy on the thing. As stated dozens of times already, that RPG explosion wouldn't have done anything to the animal besides give it a shock. Do note that a stock human survives the exact same thing later in that scene. A stock human. And it brings up the no injuries from the fight with the InGen soldiers. In response, Shipmaster Shane says, unless you were present at a medical examination of the animal, you cannot claim this. The simple fact is that we would not be able to tell if it was hurt or not from what we saw. It could have taken no damage or been severely injured to the point where it would die in a short time later anyway. We wouldn't know. And 055 is annoyed by this and takes it apart in several, like, it responds to, like, a quote, like, in forums you can, like, take the quote and section it off. So she responds to the first part by saying, I think the fact that she proceeded to crush the Ankylosaurus head with her jaws and bite the gyrosphere with no issues or signs of pain are more than enough reason to believe she is not fractured or anything. Hell, we don't even see bruising, and she gives no fucks about the smack. Like, seriously, no fucks. I'm just saying, it was strong enough to knock her down, but it did no visible damage. Same with all the rounds used by the InGen troopers. She had no visible injuries from any of the bullets. In fact, the only time she starts to show damage is once the raptors attack her, as well as Rexy. I don't know the fuck, is that just the T-Rex?
Good old Rexy.
That and the bit of her shoulder where she clawed out the tracker. And then Ryan J. Burns, who was the one who supplied Earl's height, shows up, not responding to anyone or quoting anyone, and just says, Earl can casually destroy trees.
It's his job.
Yeah, and this goes ignored for a second, because Shipmaster Shane is still arguing with 55 and says, they are in fact not even remotely reason to believe that. This sucks because I want to correct his grammar, but that's how it says. They are in fact not even remotely enough reason to believe that. This is the kind of logic that gets people killed when they walk away from something that has seriously injured them, saying they feel fine. This means effectively nothing, considering we never take a close look at its entire body to determine whether there are any bullet wounds in it. It could have had 50 severe bullet wounds and still shown no visible damage, based entirely on the terminal ballistics of the round against her hide. And 55 is still, like, they're ignoring the whole Earl comment still. 55 says,
that's because they don't know who Earl is. Yeah,
they're just like, why is this even there? This is a serious forum, and they do not need this Earl shit brought into it. 55 says, she spent several hours running around without any stopping, any sign of pain, or any sign of hinting at an injury. I've seen the movie several times, in HD detail to boot. She has no wounds besides the raptor claws and bites, the bites by Rexy, and the tracker wound where she clawed it out. And Shipmaster Sane, who I'll remind you is Catholic anime master race and has been banned, said, which is why doctors don't just look at someone running and say, they're fine, when a full medical examination is in order to determine if something is wrong. No injury I listed would stop the creature from running around or not showing signs of pain for a few hours. And because the movie is not a medical documentary about the Indominus Rex, I don't care if you've seen it 1,000 times. The camera shots required to prove your point simply do not exist. All caps. I don't know, like, okay, so this guy agrees to the fact that he's going to argue this on a forum, but he disagrees with, like, being able to use the only movie that exists about this dinosaur as a point of basis for whether the dinosaur, like, I don't know what his brain is like where this, like, realm exists where he can argue this, but will not use the only source material. So, but 55 is still in this, and she says, I'm saying she because her profile picture is a lady. It could be anyone. You know the internet. This is 2015. She says, so let me get this straight. We cannot quantify her durability despite her having no visible injuries, no signs of pain, nor fatigue, or anything of that nature. And the only thing she is actually injured is when a T-Rex and 3 velociraptors go at her, and after being smashed against buildings and thrown around, then we might as well not even debate this at all.
That sounds like a good idea.
She's approaching the point. Shipmaster Sane, the Catholic Anime Master Race band, says, so because your standard of evidence is inadequate, all evidence has ceased to exist. The following points of yours are meaningless. 1. No visible injuries, no signs of pain or fatigue. Due to insufficient medical detail, lots of inadequate information does not equal any amount of adequate information. Basically, what's happening here is this. Many injuries that could cause would be invisible and not immediately noticeable for a long time. Yeah, but I can't see them because they're not visible to the naked eye at these ranges and angels. Yeah, but I can't see them. This is, I guess he's like representing their argument in his own words. And she says, okay, then, Sane, what should we use as durability feat for the Indominus? And then a newcomer, Thel Vadum, responds to Ryan J. Burns' comment about Earl casually destroying trees and says, well, I think Earl wins this one.
Earl does win.
Yeah, and Shipmaster Sane responds to 55 about the durability features for the Indominus and says, all you have to do is not try to wank it. Instead of saying LOL no damage Ponzer, PWNZOR, with a bunch of ones and exclamation points, this guy's really good at trolling.
Ponzer.
You say things like resistant, not drop by, and retains immediate combat effectiveness. What we can't say is that getting shot dozens of times and hit her in the face did no damage, because that is an extremely complicated claim to make based on physical and medical data we don't have. What we can say is that getting hit in the face and shot dozens of times did not do enough damage to put the I-Rex down. Frankly, I think that's plenty impressive right there. You can even make a reasonable argument for its hide being bullet resistant. And then Sane goes on to respond to Ryan Burns in the tree comment, saying, do we have video of Earl doing this? If he packs enough muscle power in a small enough frame, it might not matter that the other dinos are strong or much stronger, because he's operating on a much smaller surface area. Additionally, it's almost guaranteed to be Earl versus the wounded survivor of the fight between the I-Rex and the V-Rex, because he's intelligent and not bloodlusted. Earl is not bloodlusted.
Yeah, he is.
They say he's intelligent, and everybody goes to argue with that point.
Yeah, he's not intelligent, but he definitely has bloodlust. Like he wants to kill his sister-in-law. He wants to kill his children. Like
his sister-in-law,
or not his sister-in-law, his mother-in-law.
I was worried that there was a character I was missing out on.
No, unfortunately not.
Ryan Burns responds to the question of whether there's video of Earl doing this and says he does it in the intro and for a job on the daily basis. And it includes a Dinosaurs theme song.
This person is looking for proof.
Yeah.
Acting like they've never seen that show before.
Is there video of him doing this?
Yes.
It's funny because
real life
like the
video.
same person... Yeah, the same person was saying that the videos from Jurassic World were not enough example of the I-Rex's ability, but is like, let me see the video of Earl knocking down a tree. And a newcomer, Slayer of Gods, says, Earl intelligent? He is powerful, but I wouldn't say he was intelligent. He did wipe out the dinosaurs. Which is a little bit of a spoiler alert for me, but I would be lying if I pretended I did not know how the show Dinosaurs ends, since it's like one of the famous endings of a TV show.
Yeah.
So another newcomer named Creepy, Everlasting Peace, says, Not the Mama's job was basically a lumberjack. We saw him doing it all the time in the TV show, except instead of chopping down trees, he just pushes them hard enough that they'd rip out of the ground and fall. Also, he was kind of a dumb sitcom dad dumb. So this person is this one's a real Dinosaurs fan. They called him a Not the Mama. They're in the shit.
It's calling them on Not the Mama. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Catholic Anime Master Race says, all right, that helps. He might actually be able to win. When I said he was intelligent, I meant intelligent enough to use the very basic strategy of don't try to fight both the giant dinosaurs at once. From what I know about his character, I can see him saying something along the lines of, uh-oh, I better get out of here, trying to hide and then dropping a tree on the surviving wounded dinosaur from the first fight. So that seems logical. I could see him, hiding from them. He's afraid of that swamp monster and decides that because here's the thing is Earl has this basic belief that the bigger dinosaurs deserve to eat the smaller dinosaurs. So he might show up to that fight as food.
Yeah, he's only 6 feet tall.
Yeah, and like the whole basis of food in that show is like it accepts its fate willingly, and so Earl seems to be a part of that. Like he thinks that Robbie's dead, and like when the swamp monster eats him, and decides that he has every right to be eaten by the swamp monster.
Yeah, just like when their food runs away, but at the same time it's just like, all right, eat me. Like it's the same concept.
Exactly. 055 jumps back in to say, some info as to where the fight would be taking place would help determine the outcome, to be honest.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, unless Earl can, go inside his house and get, a weapon.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would help too much. Redfield Vanguard says, given the Jurassic series' attitude towards humans wielding firearms against dinosaurs, I'm utterly unconvinced that the engine security guards weren't firing blanks or missing wildly. And honestly, with most of the handheld weaponry we see them using, it's not out of the ordinary to expect no immediately incapacitating injuries against an animal the size of an I-Rex, without an inordinately lucky shot or stupid amounts of rounds on target. It's not like they were running around with .600 Nitro Express double rifles, mind you.
This is a gun for them.
This is, it is Spacebattles. Maybe this is the Space Force. And then 055 is like, why would they be using blanks? Their mission was to murderize the Indominus, as evidenced by them packing RPGs and such. And then Slayer of Gods comes back in to keep us on topic and says, do Earl get advice from Robbie? Otherwise, Earl may just allow the winner of the fight between I-Rex and V-Rex to eat him. This is what I was saying. Earl is very conservative and would think it was his duty to be eaten by the bigger dinosaur.
Robbie would actually, strategize.
Yeah, that's why he knows he needs the advice from Robbie. This person is this is a real Dinosaurs fan that popped into this.
Maybe
he's got the show Bible.
Based on their use of grammar, I wonder if it's the person who wrote those reviews.
Do Earl prepare his son to come? If so, God. And then their username is Slayer_of_gods, and noting by other people's usernames, underscores aren't required in the username, so I don't know why.
Maybe it's just a tag that they use for everything.
Yeah, they started off on a forum where you couldn't use spaces, and they just don't want to get it confused. They want to copy paste their username everywhere. But 055 gets annoyed, asks why they would be using the blanks, and then the person, Redfield, responds, I was joking. It was a jibe at the various contrived ways that the series has found to make firearms useless against dinosaurs. And then 55 says, oh, well, you should have put a smiley on it if you were joking. And they said, like this, and then included a smiley face, and they responded yes, and that's the end of the thread. We never really get to resolve this one.
Well, we all know that Earl would lose unless he had the advice of Robbie.
Yeah, he has to. Unless he prepares his son about to come, he's not going to. I can't believe there was already a discussion about the V-Rex and the I-Rex fighting, and God, I gotta. Here's some of the Okay, wow, I did not think to do this before. I clicked like the versus debate forum. Wow, people are very like, this is a very active forum to this day. These are like, there's like 30 posts that they've all been posted on today. Wow. Vampires versus demons. Mordor versus Ferelden, which I guess is Lord of the Rings versus Dragon Age. Edward Cullen versus HMH Dunkirk.
Oh,
Wow, this is Achilles versus Leonidas. Resident Evil villains versus 40k Deathwatch Kill Squad. I don't know what most of this is. I would not be able to. I'd be the person who shows up to talk about Earl every now and then on this forum.
Is AEW versus WCW on there?
I'll let you know. Weakest Harry Potter wizard that can still kill Malagos the Spellweaver. I don't know what that's from.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I see one that's Tony Stark versus Lex Luthor, and I thought it said Tony Hawk versus Lex Luthor at first.
It's Dave Mira versus Matt Hoffman.
Okay, I'm registering real quick. Username, idol, email. I got one I'm gonna post real quick.
What? Earl versus Dan Connor.
My password must be stronger. Fine. Hold on.
not the mama.
I'm guessing Dan Connor is Roseanne.
Yeah.
Roseanne's Dan.
You can do Earl versus Dan versus Tim from Tool Time.
That episode where I'm like, what? And you're like, you totally fucked that up. That was a good moment.
That was literally the Gary episode.
Yeah. It says I did not complete the CAPTCHA required. I don't see the... Oh. If the underpants is purple, what color is it? I'm going to say purple, but that might not be correct. Oops, we ran into some problems. What problems? Come on. Come on, buddy.
The forum isn't allowing any new members.
They better, because... Oh, I got to answer another question. Cow... Wait. Yellow, coat, egg, cat, face, and brown. How many colors in the list? 2? This is all going to be like inside jokes I don't know the answers to. This isn't fair.
This is very riveting podcasting, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's relatable 20 years ago. You guys ever signed up for internet forums? Okay, so I'm signed up. I'm in versus debates. I'm posting a new thread.
Well, now you have to keep track of it. Now you gotta
Rodney Mullen versus Dante from Devil May Cry series.
No, Robbie Sinclair versus Rodney Mullen.
Okay, Robbie Sinclair versus Robbie Mullen. I think I had to include like a. It shows me similar threads just in case, and none of them are actually like. The closest is Robbie Rotten versus Sharptooth. Who's Robbie Rotten?
Isn't that
Oh, that's the dead guy. Oh,
yeah, the guy from Lazy Town.
Yeah,
but why is he facing Sharptooth?
And is Sharptooth like the band, or?
I thought it's my friend before time.
I thought it was my friend Lauren's band. God, I remember watching Sharptooth at Fest. And I want to get Lauren on the podcast now that I'm thinking about it, just because the name Sharptooth is like so relevant to the topic. But they did a song where she like yells "fuckboy" in a different guy's face every time they do the song, and she yelled it in my face and then winked at me, and I think I died on the spot. It was great.
You're dead.
So I gotta include a picture of Robbie Sinclair and a picture of Rodney Mullen.
Rodney Mullen, yeah.
So I'm gonna use like the picture of Robbie Sinclair and the Halloween costume one that I found.
No,
somebody. Yes, I am.
so we can. I think we can assume that Robbie skateboards.
I mean, what year was it? Yeah, 91. He either skateboarded or he might have rollerbladed, because that was like in between Brink and Airborne and.
Well, the Robbie Funko Pop, the one I have, he has a skateboard in his hands. So
fair enough. That's well, we don't have any medical documentary footage.
Yeah, we don't have any of his sign me video or sponsor me video.
Yeah. I'm gonna use a pretty old. I don't know if I should use a recent photo of Rodney or if I should use one from like. Oh man, he's wearing like jazz print shorts in this one from like the 80s.
He's a very old man.
Yeah, he looks fine for his age.
He's Gainesville's favorite son.
Oh, this is like it wants me to insert image by using like a URL. This is it's been so long since I've had to use forums. I hate this.
Oh.
I'm gonna use Imgur.
You can't just copy and paste the image.
Nope. I don't. I like it's like HTML and everything.
That's MySpace, baby.
I am a MySpace baby. So I need to. How do I copy link? Okay. This is fucking wild.
How many children do you think exists in the world right now whose parents met on MySpace?
I thought the question was just going to be how many children do I think exist in the world? Whose parents met on MySpace? Oh, those numbers are barely like different. Wow, it won't let me insert this. It said something went wrong when I tried to do this, so I'm just going to use the actual HTML coding that Imgur supplies you with. And see if that helps.
From someone's photo bucket.
Yeah. Oh, that's how I used to do it. I used to use photo bucket.
Yeah.
I had no memory of like how I used to pull this off. Okay, so I'm gonna try to embed these images. Let me look at a preview before the preview. It doesn't work. What the fuck?
This is why no one uses forums anymore.
Like, what do they know that I don't know?
It's so much easier to just upload the photo directly onto a Facebook group.
Yeah, it seems wild that it isn't just letting me just like copy paste this image. How is this like people are still using this to this day from my understanding? Like that seems like a ridiculous thing to be a part of. Of course, now I'm going to let's see. I need a cool username. Is my username for Photo Bucket? Oh god, everything wants me to prove I'm not a robot these days. What happened to robot pride?
Fuck the robots.
I like can't even sign into my goddamn Photo Bucket because I don't know the fucking password. Oh, and like it. Oh no, I'm looking for a free plan. Okay, Photo Bucket. I'm not paying for it. This is really a good experience here I'm having with trying to post this one simple question onto this forum. It's saying that my username is already registered and my email is already taken. I'm kind of aware of that. I just don't know the password. That's the problem I'm having, Photo Bucket. You don't understand me. It's okay. It's giving me the option. Everybody listening on the radio right now, it's giving me the option to send myself a password resubmission form or whatever.
This is too much.
Resetting password. We're all good. I thought I was going to do that next step of that where it's like, you can't use your password you've already used. Like, that's my least favorite thing in the world is trying to sign into something, not knowing the password, and then like having to reset password, and then it says, this is already your password. You can't do this.
This is not related, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the new Math the Band album. It's really fucking good. Everyone should go listen to it.
I've barely listened. I listened to like one Math the Band album before, and I think I've seen them live before though.
They're a really good band, both live and like on record.
So you're willing to say this on record?
Yeah, they're awesome. I've booked them twice in Gainesville, and the first time they stayed at my house, and they were very nice and very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So was it just Math the Band or Math the Band the band?
It was just Math. It was just it was when it was still just a two piece. I didn't see Math the band till Fest. They played at Fest. That was cool.
Okay, I said it every time I try to post this thread, it keeps saying like your post is too short and likely would not add anything to our forum. So, I added enough words. I said, who would win in this fight? Let's say Robbie from circa 1991 and Mullen from mid-80s. They can both use a skateboard as a weapon, but no other weapons. So, yeah, we'll do an update at some point as to how this thread goes, if I remember that I did it. It's giving me I can upload a new avatar. This is good. I'm going to use that picture of the Robbie costume. Awesome. Now my avatar is that creepy Robbie Halloween costume. I say Halloween costume as if that wasn't exclusively a fuck costume.
Did I send you the Boba Fett costume?
No.
I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
It's very creepy.
All right. This outro is also recorded separate, so hopefully it was a little bit awkward coming. Like, hey, wasn't all that stuff funny from earlier? So thanks for listening to our bonus episode. Thank you to Scotoon Network for recording our theme song. And thank you to Amy Shenanigans for drawing cute pictures of us for the logo. Thanks. Shit, I can't remember his name.
Zach,
that's it. I knew it rhymed with Gary.
Yeah, sounds just like Gary.
So thanks. Gary should have been in that fight from earlier. You're right. So... Thanks to Zach for editing our show, and thanks to all of you for tuning in and listening. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Also, make sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook and our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And so you can post the comment on who's still listening to this in 2020.
Who's still jamming to this in 2020, guys?
What's life like? Imagine what's life like after 9/11.
Was it before 9/11?
Yeah.
I always wonder what life is like before 9/11.
Yeah.
Or as I say, is at post 9/11, pre Whitney Houston death. But a dinosaur's tale is our handle on most things, Twitter and otherwise. So you can hit us up there. You can email us at sinclaritypodcast@gmail.com.
Has anyone no one's emailed us yet, right? Like no one.
I haven't checked, but no, there's zero way.
Because every time I go, like, I'm gonna do it when I upload this audio to our Google Doc. I'm gonna like look and see if we actually have an email.
I included my real phone number at the end of episode 4, and I have not been hit up, so that's good.
That's good.
It's bad for our analytics, but it's good for our analingus. Anyway, so thanks. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your extinction.
Yep. Goodbye.
Bye forever.